Okay, here we have another modern matchup, green-white auras. This time we're playing against the blue-white-red control decks that have become quite popular. Actually probably one of the top decks in the format right now. So let's see how things go. Lost the roll, unfortunately. The deck definitely likes to be on the play, but this is a bit of an awkward hand. Probably going to keep it, but it's not ideal. Especially not against the opponent we're going to come up against, but obviously we didn't know that at the time. But yeah, counters is definitely not something we want to see when we're trying to play a turn 2 Spirit Dancer on the draw. So yeah. So we definitely don't want to play out Spirit Dancer right now, not when he's got mana open. So just going to wait. Actually we get Shadow of Doubted on our fetch land. So it's a little bit of a problem. Means we're not going to have 3 mana up. I could have played the Spirit Dancer there, but I just really wanted to tap out for something, hoping he would play Geist or something. But maybe that was a little naive. So I think eventually we're going to have to go for it. But we'd definitely like it for him to tap out. But I suppose he doesn't really have to. So I managed to end up going for the Spirit Dancer, but unfortunately, and it does stick, but unfortunately for me, I believe Snapcaster and Helix it, yeah. Still draw a card, which rather fortunately is a Glade Cover Scout, which means I'm not in the worst position, but unfortunately he has a mana leak for that. I'm just going to have to pass his guy and hope for the best. And I don't think we get there, I'm afraid. The Sphinx's Revelation here, keeping 1 mana up for I don't really know what. Dispel, I guess, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And yeah, things don't look very good for us. Definitely desperately in need of a hexproof guy, and I'm pretty sure we don't find it. So yeah, we just concede. We're in too bad a position here. He's probably got a handful of burn as well. So yeah, game 1 didn't go so well. Probably shouldn't have kept that hand. If I'd known what my opponent was playing, I probably wouldn't have done. So on to game 2. We don't really have many sideboard options against this deck currently. I'm not really sure what we would really want. I think I probably brought in a couple of Rest in Peace for Spirit Mantles, since our Spirit Mantle's not really all that great in this matchup. But apart from that, there's not really a whole lot we can get. So this hand is kind of creature heavy, but I think we're willing to go with this. Gonna lead off with the Hierarch. Hope it doesn't get burnt, but believe it will do. Yep, takes a bolt there. So we'll play the Scout out and Hyena and it up. So I've got a nice 2/2 first striker there. Gonna Rancor, but my opponent mana leaks it, which seems a little unusual, but we're okay with that. Again, our mana's a bit awkward because we don't have as many Temple Gardens as we'd like, but still doing okay here. I'm gonna play the Spirit Mantle now, which resolves. I'm gonna attack for 3. My opponent plays a Helix. Kind of Ethereal Armor. I'm going to hook up the Spider Umber and the Ethereal Armor. But unfortunately that gets Cryptic commanded. But we're still going to be able to attack for 4. And our opponent will be dead in a couple of turns. With any luck. No plays again. Opponent taps down our creatures with Cryptic, draws a card I believe. Going to play out the Slippery Boggle, tap another attacker, put him down to 2, out the Spirit Dancer, he's going to bolt it. But yeah, hopefully we're going to have him dead next turn. Put draws, I didn't actually know what he was drawing into, but later on I found out that he has Supreme Verdict in his deck, which is Definitely one I should have been playing around. Most decks don't run Supreme Verdict, so I was quite surprised that he was running it, but yeah, definitely something you need to play around. Fortunately, we've got hyena numbers on both our guys, so if he did actually find a Verdict, he would just knock off the 2 auras, and he'd still be dead, so that's fine. Hook up Spirit Mantle for the Slippery Boggle, and yeah, that's game. So yeah, definitely an advantage of being on the play. You can really not comfortable with, and they end up having to counter things like Rancor and, as you saw, other cards that don't really matter all that much. So with the fact that his hand was, you know, he had Lightning Bolt, he had Lightning Helix, and none of them were any good against our cards, was pretty awesome. Obviously, there's only so much sideboarding you can do with their deck, but so yeah, it's pretty nice to have creatures that can't be killed by their removal spells and force them to have a lot of cards that aren't very good against you. So on to game 3, the decider. Oop. That went a little bit too fast on the replay, I'm afraid, but obviously a mulligan decision there that I made. This hand is not ideal, but Hierarch makes it just about keepable. If we draw into land and some stuff, might be alright. Don't really want to mull to 5. Go with this. Lead off with Colonnade. Lead off with a Hierarch. Hopefully that'll survive, but strong possibility that it won't. Play with Scout. She leaks. Punt Helix is our Hierarch. Fortunately we draw a 1-mana Aura, so we can keep on the beats. I'm going to attack him for 2. And just play the land. We find our second land here. Gonna fetch up a Temple Garden, and equip up with the Spirit Mantle. Attacking for 4, going down to 15. But that's nothing. It's down to 3 cards. The Rest in Peace. I'm gonna play the second Spirit Mantle, but decided to try it Rest in Peace. It'd be good if he's got Snapcasters or anything. So thought I'd play that out. We still get the +1/+1 bonus off Ethereal Armor, and actually it pays dividends to not double Spirit Mantle off this Slippery Boggle, as you'll probably see shortly. Punt Cryptics, draws a card and taps down the guys, and I think he follows that up with a Supreme Verdict, which is quite annoying. But fortunately we've got a Boggle and a Mantle, so we're not in the absolute worst position. We play out the Slippery Boggle and play the Mantle. Punt does nothing, and we draw a Daybert Coronet, so we're very happy that we kept that Spirit Mantle in hand now, as we're in a very good position now. We're going to attack for 5, go all the way up to 22, so any efforts to try and burn me out, which appears to be what he's trying to do now, are pretty worthless. Hits us down for 6 damage with a Helix and a Bolt, but we just gained 5 life, so that's not really a very big deal. He plays another land. Found an Ethereal Armor. Pretty all in on this Slippery Boggle. I mean, we can't really play around Supreme Verdict at this point anymore, so we're just going to stick it on and get in for 9 here. Put my opponent down to 4, 3 after he fetches, and yeah, opponent doesn't find anything, and we managed to win through. So yeah, it's a difficult matchup against this deck, but if you can get the early creatures down, you're in a fairly good position. Just got to watch out for Supreme Verdict if they're running it, and otherwise you'll be pretty good. Totem Armors are obviously a big deal when it comes to avoiding Wrath effects, so that's definitely something to watch out for, and try not to overcommit. But otherwise this matchup's been fairly decent. It's a little bit tight at times. You obviously need a quick hand, but otherwise we can definitely get there, even on the draw, as shown here. So yeah, good games and good match.